the absolute very first thing you need to do when you get on location, after introducing yourself to the company man, of course, and checking out where you're going to rig up, is you must QC all of the steel components that are going to be in your BHA. Usually, or I should say all the time, you're going to drill a directional well. You're going to have a mud motor involved and possibly a float sub. And what we're going to use as an example here is actually called a filter sub. Anything that is steel is very, very important. That's the first thing you do, is find all the steel components that are going to be in your BHA, and you must use a Gauss meter to check the amount of magnetism that is potentially inside the sub, or in the steel. The nickname that we use for this device is called a puck, like a hockey puck. So, if you guys are using this type of puck or Gauss meter, this is definitely the preferred model. One of the reasons is it's Weatherford approved, number one, and number two, it goes to plus or minus 20. Some other models you can see, or you might see, only go to plus or minus 10. So we're going to go over here to this filter sub, and we're going to remove the pipe, the thread protector. And what we're going to do is we're going to point the test arrow in line with the face of the sub. We're going to bring it in here, bring it towards Robert G. Cochran, Esquire III. And as you can see, as I get closer to it, you can see how the magnetics in this thing are intense. So what we can see here is that the sub is negatively charged as the arrow, or the needle, sorry, starts to go towards the negative portion of the puck. What we're going to do is we're going to slide this around. Traditionally, you're going to have it facing up towards your face like this, and you're going to slide it around. And you can see that there's different magnetic field strengths in different parts of the face. And this thing is extremely hot, as we call it. And alright, we can cut that. I want to show you guys another example of a sub that's not quite as hot, or is not quite as charged as that one. And we're going to come in here, we're going to go on the face. You can see it's very, very charged there. As we start to come around the face, you can see that it's getting a little less, still negatively charged. And we can see right here where it's only, so that'd be 1, 2, every tick is 1 count. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 there. That'd be like 8, 9, there's 9. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to come back around here. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You guys get the idea. When you go all the way around, you need to find the hottest part of the sub. Once you find the hottest part of the sub, you need to get your Gauss meter, or you need to get your vehicle, and you need to come over here and do a degaussing method, which we will do in a different video. And you're going to have to apply a positive amount of charge, or a positive amount of electricity, to get that to come back over positively. The maximum allowable spec for any type of steel in your BHA is plus or minus 5. If you're within plus or minus 5, you are allowed to run that piece of steel in your BHA. If it is outside the plus or minus 5, you must bring it within the plus or minus 5. Obviously 0 being the best. And let's all try and be perfectionists around here, because number one, it's a good job, and let's try and get it down to 0. Might as well. If you can't get it down to 0, you tried your best. Just get it within the plus or minus 5. If for some reason you can't do that, and you don't have a backup, you must call a coordinator immediately. Sometimes in the field you'll see your lead hand might attempt to take the puck and put it on the outside of the sub. And as you can see, it will deflect the needle. Therefore, the sub is charged. You're reading, basically what you're doing here is you're reading the perpendicular rays of the magnetic charge coming off this sub. Now, this would be parallel with your MWD tool. This would be perpendicular with your MWD tool. This kind of magnetic rays or direction does not impact our MWD tool as greatly. Basically, if you see a guy doing this, is fine, but it's not crucial. The perpendicular lines of magnetic interference are not going to affect the MWD tool. The measurement you are most concerned with is the one on the face, because these are parallel lines of interference. These are going to run all the way up your string. Those are the interference that we are most concerned with. So if you see anybody measuring the perpendicular lines, this is not crucial. The crucial interference is going to be your parallel lines, and that's the interference that you need to get within your plus or minus 5. I'm Ryan, and this is MWD Hotshot School.